So we're Nerdcouver, because we're now talking about how much we really, really like Death Vigil and hope that the writer/artist is okay, because his comic is awesome. So yes, we're still going to read your comic because it's amazing.
I don't really understand why people, like the comic writers and artists, get so like freaked out. It's just like, oh no, I've been delayed a month. Just like, yeah, but I'd rather wait like a year to have a good comic
or a good video game or whatever
than have something that's like pushed out and it's utter crap.
Well, Michael Turner went through the same thing when he was really sick because he had been in and out of the hospital. He ended up not doing a lot of stuff, so he ended up just doing covers when he was really sick. So I'm a really patient person when you're awesome. So
exactly. When you're not awesome, then you're screwed.
We don't care.
The Station, on the other hand, is like universally awesome in everything that he touches. So
I'd love to see him do a DC book, like Wonder Woman. I'd love to see him.
His Wonder Woman.
Exactly. I saw his Wonder Woman. I would love to see him on Wonder Woman.
He did a Wonder Woman picture?
Yeah, he did a whole series of them, and they're amazing.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah,
he's got like multiple DeviantArt accounts.
His DeviantArt account. Oh god, what's the one I'm thinking of?
I don't know any of the names.
The one where the Sunstone one started, Shinies.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Shinies. It has like a whole whack of like different DC panels and posters and things. My favorite of which is the Darkseid shooting the Omega beams at Batman and missing and being like, "You goddamn Mary Sue!"
Yeah. No, if you follow him on Twitter, he posts a lot of like little short like comic strips, and they're hilarious and they're always like really well done.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yes. Anyways.
Oh, well, what did we come here for?
It's Wednesday. It's new
Wednesday.
Woot!
I have two comics from Aspen this week. 2!
Ooh.
I got a DC and a Marvel. Because I got an actual real DC book now to read.
I have several things. I even picked up a Top Cow title. What?
Oh my god, that's unusual.
Well, it's been a long time since Fathom was published by Top Cow.
That's true. I've got 2 Image, 2 Dynamite, 2 Aspen, and 1 Boom.
I went to Marvel. I had 2 Marvel. Princess Leia and Star Wars. It was interesting. Princess Leia, Star Wars, and Darth Vader came out this week, which is weird because they're usually staggered.
Yeah.
So
let's dive right into
reviews. Well,
we can do it.
Let's do it.
All right. First for once.
Who hasn't? You haven't gone first before, have you?
I haven't gone first.
You get to go first.
Okay, I'll go first. All right, this week we got Justice League number 41 and Groot number 1.
Woo!
Let's talk about Justice League first. So this was the start of the.
DC? What?
This is yes. I finally Convergence is over, so I finally get to read actual DC product again.
So you were going to say propaganda for a second. It was really
pretty much is. People want to. Well, they're DCU. This is one of the first books of the new DCU. YOU.
YOU.
Yeah, it's their new ad campaign.
Oh my god.
Oh, I forgot to silence my phone again.
See?
DCU! Because they got genres for everybody.
Are you unready?
This is Bizarro.
Yeah.
But this isn't Bizarro. Okay, so talking the actual comic book. Justice League number 41 by Jeff Johns, Jason Fabok, colored by Brad Anderson. I'm not going to look up the letter's name, I'm sorry. So this is the first issue of the new arc Darkseid War that they teased in the Free Comic Book Day. It's a little oversized, which was nice to have those extra glorious Jason Fabok pages. They're beautiful. I love his work, especially on this title. So yeah, it's pretty much just sets up where things are going, introduces Mr. Miracle. The Justice League all together.
Scot-free?
Yeah. Scot-free, and he explains why he's scot-free.
Yeah,
Darkseid's daughter, whose name I can't remember from the Free Comic Book Day.
Is it Omega?
No.
Okay.
Also, that's an upside down Omega.
Yeah, anti-Omega.
Yeah, because she don't like. Speak of anti, we also have the Anti-Monitor at the end.
Of course we do.
Because it's Darkseid versus the Anti-Monitor in this war, and. So it's the Darkseid War, kinda.
Ooh, great line. That's what I'm gonna play.
Yeah, I'm really rambling with not actually talking about things. So yeah, it's kind of. Yeah, we got a quick get on Wonder Woman narrating everybody's narrating how she feels about a lot of things. Same with Mr. Miracle. And then you get little snapshots of everybody at their origin points, except for Flash.
Because he's too quick.
For some reason, Jeff
so
Johns.
fast.
That's one thing about this run. I don't wonder for a guy who apparently is Flash's his favorite character. For Jeff Johns, he never does anything with Flash in his Justice League run.
Maybe he just so.
He's always sidelined.
Maybe he's just waiting.
Maybe he's like
Maybe.
a fanboy that just can't. He doesn't want to ruin it.
Yeah. So actually,
Maybe he
Flash
doesn't want to be the one that puts it out.
He wrote Flash Rebirth. So
Yeah.
and
Didn't he
Flashpoint.
do? Yeah, he did. Like,
So
the
he's
whole big
done.
run.
Yeah, he did the big
Yeah.
run.
Well, I don't know.
But in this run, he's the most underutilized character. So yeah, it was really overall really good, beautiful artwork,
Yeah, art's really
really good interactions between everybody. Pretty much just since Jason Fabok came on to this title, Jeff Johns has been killing it again. Kind of like when Ivan Reis first came on, where he kind of got a really good revitalization of the title, and then he eventually pandered off. So yeah, people go pick this up. This was really fun.
Cool.
I also got
Don't touch my husband.
Groot #1, which was recommended to me. I wasn't going to pick it up originally, but I had this is probably the best comic I've read today.
Sweet.
It's pretty much just Rocket and Groot just out and about hitchhiking the galaxy.
I'm really digging how every member of the Guardians of the Galaxy is getting their own comics.
Except for Gamora.
I hope Gamora. She's in the Guardians team up
That's true.
this
But
week. And
Drax doesn't have one.
no,
Drax is getting one.
Oh.
Written by CM Punk, no less.
I like how
Yeah.
Groot, someone that can't even speak English, gets his own.
Well, it's
can
in this.
speak
It's
English.
mostly
One order.
mostly
Rocket.
played off of Rocket's reaction, which is great because this definitely feels all I hear is Bradley Cooper's Rocket Raccoon in my head the whole time. And the interactions are great. The artwork style, the artwork style is very Disney to me. It's written by Jeff Loveness, and the art, so like colors too, are by
Brian
Brian
Kessinger
Kessinger?
is a Disney artist.
Okay, I was gonna
so
say, I was
that's why.
wondering if he was Disney because there's a lot of in here, especially Rocket. He looks very much straight out of a Disney cartoon.
Yeah.
Oh no, this
Oh,
looks
And the
yeah.
people,
Oh my God,
yeah,
yeah, he does.
it does.
He looks like
he looks super Disney. Really funny interactions. They do a hilarious riff on Superman in here. Like, it's amazing. It was probably it's definitely my favorite moment of the week in comics, is them screwing with, let's see, his name is Coral, and it's on a little planet, a doomed world, and Rocket and Groot steal the shit. Yeah. And the wife is like, at the end of the final, I love the end of the scene where they're just, his wife like goes to the guy, he's like, did you build a spare? He's like, spaceships are very expensive to, I want a divorce. And then it just flips and the spaceship's broken down. It was really, really good adventure, like quick little just comedy sketch stuff going on.
I'm gonna go home and
With,
read this.
with some setup for a future story. I haven't looked at the rest of the solicits. I'll probably do that because I'll probably.
We're getting a Lando comic.
Oh
Yeah, we're also
my
getting another
god.
next month.
Everything is better
And
forever.
Yeah, that's kind of my quick rundown. I picked up like 6 other books this week, but I didn't get to read them all. Bizarro was kind of funny. Maybe pick that up. That was alright. And Star Wars.
Star Wars!
Star Wars is
Interesting
good.
reveal and stuff!
Ooh, and the new Spider-Man comic. I didn't think I was
Vows?
Yeah, Renew Your Vows. Not bad.
Yeah, it felt like Dark Reign, or what was the name of the really, really dumb one where
Where he
Venom
kills
took
him?
over
Oh.
and Mary Jane had died from radiation poisoning,
Oh,
and it was like a future
I
story.
think it was Rain,
and-
but not Dark Rain.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
was.
The
It
Kari
was
Andrews
not.
one.
Yeah, it's not good, but it sort of ended on that note. But everything leading up to that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The artwork was okay. Adam Kubert is not my favorite Kubert brother.
Yeah.
They're brothers, right? Adam and Andy.
Guess.
The Joe
Sure.
Kubert
Sure.
kids. I don't know. Of all the Kuberts, he's my least favorite.
Here we can.
Yeah, here,
There.
got the cover.
Yeah.
There.
So it's really good to see Peter and Mary Jane back together, which is nice. It was
And
nice
their
to sort
kid
of, yeah, it
that's withdrawn with the artwork that is really
Wearing a
oddly
Daredevil
sized.
onesie.
Yes,
Yes.
this kid is covered in superhero paraphernalia.
stuff all the time.
Really interesting setup. Got a cool Spidey Venom fight. I thought that was cool.
And then we get like a new villain who has killed all of the other heroes and villains. And
everybody
stolen
except
all of their
Spider-Man.
powers.
And then by the end, Spider-Man's just stopped being Spider-Man.
There's
already
also
talked
a
about
really
it.
Yeah.
cool Mary Jane wedding dress cover version, only available on J. Scott Campbell's website for
Of course there
$20.
is.
Yeah.
Well, this is actually his first exclusive that he's only allowed to sell. Like he's
Only doing it on his website.
I
Yeah.
would have really, really liked to have seen like this family in a greater continuity.
Yeah,
It's
instead of
just-
section off. Well, this doesn't even bring up like Secret Wars at all.
No.
Which
Doesn't touch
again,
on it.
most of these titles are doing is kind of just going and not really.
Well, they're tied to
Except for
God,
Air
Emperor
Force,
Doom
yeah.
and everything else, but
It's tied to it, but it doesn't
This
strictly
one-
address it. So far, the only one I
This
picked
one
up
hasn't actually addressed
at
it or
all.
tied to it in any way, shape, or form.
No,
It's
you would just assume
here's
this
an
was
AU.
in the normal
Yeah.
universe if they had stayed married, which
Yeah.
is, I guess, kind of the point.
Mhm.
Yeah, I might see where this is going. I see like the covers and the ads for where this is going. I'm more interested. Like within the actual comic itself,
Yeah.
it has like a spoiler for where it's going.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Controversial Spider-Man story of the year. That's not hard these days because
No.
Spider-Man's been not readable for a while.
Yeah, so I
It's
might.
kind of nice to see Spider-Man not in high school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Well,
yes.
because Spider-Man's not been in high school.
For
I mean,
a
in main
Well,
comics for
you know,
like
the
a
movies
while.
keep
No, the
putting him in
movies
high
keep
school,
on.
in
And-
college.
But no,
and-
the thing is, they're not doing it right. They put him in high school for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, the comics keep trying to shove him back into high school or put him back into high
Yeah.
school mentality, and it's got
Except Dan
past the
Slott. Dan
normal.
Slott didn't want to. And then
Nobody has wanted to, except for
editorial.
yeah, editorial. He's like, no, he needs to be single and relatable and stuff, and he needs to.
You know,
like,
a
everything
lot of
is
his
terrible.
fans by now are married and have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it for me this week.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go because
Alright.
I
call
picked
third.
up both Red Sonjas, Legendary Red Sonja and Vulture Circle. Picked up Charizard and Lola, but I'll let
Wow.
Reva talk about those. I picked
Sounds
up
really nice
Wicked
cover.
and Divine, but I haven't read them yet. I'm a couple issues behind. Something important happens in this one apparently, so
Yeah,
maybe.
I
Important
didn't-
always happens in the world.
No, but this is probably bigger. I don't know. I didn't read it yet either.
Yeah,
so.
I might do like a separate review video of the entire series because I could go on a lot about these.
I will happily join you for that if you like,
Cool.
because I'm
Sounds
a
good.
huge myth head, and
Keep on going. I've read it all. Maybe we'll do a special.
Maybe Reva has to
Wicked and
catch up.
Divine.
This
Maybe.
one time, I'm not the one that's read something.
Death
You
Vigil,
borrow.
but I haven't read it again.
But it looks beautiful.
It does look beautiful, and I have been enjoying the series, so I'm excited to keep on going. And the one that I am going to talk about is The Woods, because this is the start of a brand new arc. It's a 1-year time jump since issue 12, and I absolutely loved it. It was basically a setup of what's going to be the next arc. Not much happens other than like kind of explaining a little bit what happened in the year in between. But one thing that I really do like is that in issue 12, one of the main characters does something, and this issue is kind of all about the consequences of that. And yeah, I don't really want to say because it's kind of a spoiler, and I don't want to ruin that because that's pretty big.
if you haven't read The Woods, it's basically there's a high school that gets transported to an alien world.
Mm-hmm.
They have no idea how. They have no idea if they can get back. Things go seriously wrong. Everything goes terrible forever, and the PE coach tries to lead like a general revolt and set up a totalitarian society,
Yeah.
and gets taken down by the student council.
Yes, it's pretty great.
It's amazing.
The characters are just so well developed and really relatable. They have like a very diverse cast as well. People of all ages, gender, races, sexual orientations. So it's a really good depiction of like a bunch of different people, and it also deals with different time eras because this planet has been taking groups of people. Like every 100 years or so.
Yeah.
So you've got people that are from like the medieval era, present day, like caveman days. So it's really interesting to see how all of these time eras interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
There was one. Have you read this one yet?
No.
Okay. There is one page. It's not really a spoiler, but it's just a character is walking through the graveyard, and the graves in it
Yeah.
are like the writer and the artist.
Oh my
the
god,
letterer.
that's beautiful.
And then like a couple of the characters that actually have died. But yeah, so they gave themselves graves, and I died at that
That's
part.
phenomenal.
It's
This
hilarious.
is written by James
Tynion.
Tynion, right?
Yeah, Tynan. Yeah. Yeah,
I like his
he.
work.
So do
I don't even read that many of it. I just only read his back then.
Every
Yeah.
time I end up finding like his comics, I end up picking them up because they're awesome.
They are. They
Yeah.
really are. Yes, you can borrow mine. I have to get them back from Bailey first. But yeah, I
I see
highly
different checks.
recommend this series. Anyone that likes sci-fi horror.
DC,
Yeah.
can you please put James on a book with the young characters, please? I know that's kind of
want
Brendan.
him
I know that's
to
Brendan
do
Fletcher's thing right
Red
now.
Robin.
But yeah, he needs to do Red
Yes.
Robin and Bluebird.
Oh God,
Yes.
yes, please.
Because although Scott Snyder's probably got like exclusive rights to the character right now, because apparently she's gonna be in all new Batman a lot. It's not even all
Well,
new. But
you never know.
I thought Marvel had like copyrighted the all new.
they thought Scott Snyder said they thought about calling all new Batman or Batman all new Batman because
all new X-Men. Just get in on the
Well,
all new
because-
Captain America.
yeah, they're getting in on it. Well, it is Batman next week. I'll probably talk about it more next week when it comes out, but because it is like we all know it's completely new.
Yeah.
And the one thing I swear, if they don't explain why Dick Grayson or any of the other Robins did not become Batman for after 2 months of no Batman, I'm gonna be kind of bad. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
really bad if they don't explain.
Well, I mean, yeah, they've already done this where like Bruce has died.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it's
Dick
new.
stepped
but-
in.
And, well, there was an entire
John Paul Valley
battle
stepped in.
to.
Well, the three big Robins didn't. They fought it out last time, so that's why
Yeah.
hopefully in
it
this
doesn't
news
make
story
any sense
that,
like none of them stepped up.
especially that in the actual comic, which in Batman 40 we actually have Dick Grayson in the Batsuit
Yeah.
already, and no one noticed.
Yeah.
That's another thing. It's like how hopefully I'm assuming at the end of that comic where they all woke up from their like Joker gas comas that Dick Grayson woke up first and fucked off before anybody else saw him. Because he
Yeah.
like rips off the mask and Barbara Gordon's there and everybody thinks he's dead.
I just have this image of whenever Dick Grayson is in the cape and cowl, like trying to act all dark, but like it's just kind of giggling inside.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks that Batman is on antidepressants or something, and
Probably.
nobody wants to say anything.
Well, like
'cause
in
he's
the
Batman.
well in the new Batman or well not in the new but in the Batman run when he first came in, this is like Two-Face is like that's not Batman. It's like why?
Yeah.
He's smiling.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
And doesn't smile. It's scary.
Yeah. So that's why. That's all I need. That's all I need to answer is why Dick Grayson didn't just come back and be Batman like immediately.
Aaron?
All right. So I know this is going to be shocking, but I want to talk about a Valiant book.
That's
Wow.
weird. You got
No.
a boom book on top of
I
the
know.
stack.
They're sold out of the Valiant book I wanted to talk
Well,
about.
there we go.
Because it's awesome. And it's Imperium number 5, and it continues with God's effort to save the world from itself and corporate greed and everything else. And it's bloody amazing. So everything that has been built up since Harbinger number 1 sort of continues to play out here, and it feels like it's going somewhere big and important. You find out why if there's this big corporate overlord sort of overseeing a shadow government and everything else, and you've got the most powerful psychic on the planet who knows he's right there and can basically rip him apart at any time, why he hasn't. So there's a very, very interesting play that happens within the context of that book, and I'm very interested in seeing where it picks up next. It's also by Joshua Dysart, and it continually...
Oh, yeah.
Mine are fake.
Poker it.
No!
I can't read comics anymore.
I just wanted to be cool like you guys.
Sorry.
No
I
worries.
just
Sorry,
realized.
go ahead.
The interesting thing about Imperium to me is that I go into it consistently with very, very high expectations, and every time they're surpassed. It's like I can't put my expectations high enough, and it's consistently surprising, but in a way that makes sense. So instead of like a shocking swerve, it's just, oh, that information that was done like 3 or 4 issues ago now totally makes sense in context of what's happening now. So it feels really well laid out and really well characterized and thought about. I would highly recommend you read Harbinger and get up into Imperium, because they're both amazing. And then I've got 3 comics here. One of which is Death Vigil, which we've already discussed, so I won't discuss it again.
Actually,
Because,
can I flip through this?
oh, you totally should. It's
Oh, look at the
gorgeous.
beauty.
It's just lush.
Alright.
Arcadia, which I haven't read this issue yet, and I feel really bad about it. It's been a bit of a day. But the concept is that humanity has been pretty much wiped out by plague, and everybody got uploaded. 99% of the world's population got uploaded their minds into effectively a memorport.
Okay.
So everybody is now in virtual space, and they've created a virtual society there, and they're supposed to be working on a cure for the people that are still in the real world that are maintaining their bodies. But stuff is going weird because people are people.
Of course.
And yeah, it's just bizarre and really interesting, and oh god, the comic is so beautiful.
Focus, Aaron.
Okay, I'm bad at that. And the other comic I brought up was Nailbiter, which is about a small town in the middle of nowhere.
Actually, coming from from a glance.
Yeah, that was sort of their intention with this particular issue because they go into some of the backstory. The comic is about a small town in the middle of nowhere.
we know what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Small town in the middle of nowhere that has been the breeding ground for 16 different serial killers. And the FBI has finally noticed that all of these serial killers are coming out of this one town, and they're like, why? What's going on? And you get highlights from stuff just going wrong in the town, this very slow sense of entropy. Like you get to see a bus driver driving some of these kids to school over a period of about 20 years. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, some of this stuff is horrifying. That's a priest, by the way.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the series.
It's phenomenal.
I don't know why I haven't picked up the trade
It's
yet.
really good. There's 2 trades. They're well worth picking up. This is the first issue to not be in one of the trades, I think. But if you're not reading this, you really should be. It's phenomenally well done, really, really interesting characters, and an incredibly interesting and kind of frightening mythology. It's the kind of... it feels very Clive Barker, Lovecraft, Saska Sister. Mm-hmm. And I not approved by the Comics Code Authority. It just makes me smile. Pick up Nailbiter. It's really cool. It's really well done. There's this sort of like supernatural edge to it, mixed with a whole conspiracy thing, and of course the serial killers, and it's phenomenal. And I love that I've just added that to Nathan's buy list.
It's Reva's turn.
This is my husband. He's just waiting for Scarlet to come out. Don't touch my husband!
Oh my god.
I was like, what? I was like, oh yeah, because you're obsessed with Scarlet Witch. But apparently you are Scarlet Witch, so... Oh yeah, this comic. I want to buy this.
Yeah, give me both.
I can't wait for that to come out.
The Spire, by the way.
The Spire. What is the Spire?
We don't know, but we want to pick it up and find out.
It's true.
The phone had to ring because it's my turn.
This is
that happened last week too, didn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so Death Vigil. I actually haven't read any of it, but I just picked up this one, and I would be picking up all of the backs of this. Star Wars! Oh my god, the reveal. Oh my god. I have a theory.
Not what I thought. Oh, maybe.
Is it a demon?
No.
A dancing
Have you
demon?
both read this?
Yeah,
okay.
I've read it.
So, spoiler alert, stop watching if you don't want to know.
Yeah.
Don't stop watching. Link, comment, and subscribe. Come to Big Pete's.
And now continue watching.
But don't call after 6.
On a Wednesday. So they reveal that Han has a wife, and she looks like Zoe from Firefly to me.
Yeah.
But my theory is it's because I think they're tying in the comics with the movie. It's possible that his son is the black Stormtrooper Jedi that's in the new movie.
Ooh.
By the way, that actor was in a movie called Attack the Block, which if you haven't seen, see that movie.
But that's just my random theory. Like, that was, like, just off the cuff and whatever, but I thought it was really cool. Okay. This is Princess Leia. I'm really excited to read this because I've been really addicted to it. I cannot wait to cosplay her sidekick, and I'm going to get someone to cosplay Leia with me.
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Oh my god, Nathan would be such a good Leia.
Yeah.
Which Leia would you be?
Slave Leia.
Oh, no.
Gender bend slave.
I also picked up
Exact costume.
Shahrazad with the J. Scott Campbell cover because it's beautiful. I want that shield. It's super cool.
It's really cool.
I haven't read this one, but I have also already read the first graphic novel, and it's basically a retelling of old mythological stories and stuff
Mythology?
like that. Yeah. She lives through history and stuff like that. It's quite interesting. Tom is awesome. Big Dog Inc.
So are these reprints then?
Yeah, they're re-releasing all of their old stuff through Aspen, so it's a good way for new people to jump on, because it's like you can't get the old graphic novels unless you find them on Amazon or eBay or whatever else. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's to bring on all the new fans, and then once they've caught up, they'll be releasing new stuff.
Very cool.
So yeah, that's awesome. Tom is probably one of the nicest comic book people I've ever met in my entire life. He's so passionate about his stuff, super passionate. And then I picked up Lola! Madam Wasteland. I always say it backwards. Wasteland Madam. I am dyslexic. But for reals, I was special classes.
Special classes.
Don't
Keep going.
So Lola.
Anyways, as I told you last time, the first one was, oh my god, the ending of it was like really shocking. I hope you read it by now. I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but
I didn't read it because I was busy reading Groot and Justice League.
Yeah. What should I say without ruining it, other than it was amazing and awesome and
Well, what's it about?
Well, she's in a wasteland. I told you last time. It's following her as a character. It keeps filling in her backstory. The artwork is amazing. She is ridiculous and does everything with Copic markers by hand.
Oh God.
Yep. Anyways, so it's following her. So it's like filling in her past or how she became to be this badass chick, as well as talking about the future. So they're fixing an airplane in this, and I'm not sure what they're going to do with it, because not one single of them can actually fly it. But by the end of the issue, the plane's ready, but they don't have someone to fly it. But they kind of hint to who they're going to do it with, and I'm like, get to fly it. But I'm like, why would they do that? Because, yeah. It also deals with a lot of stuff, like, obviously she was a woman, and she's on the side of the road, and bad guys picked her up and took her back to the big boss, and she's been basically a sex slave in the beginning of, like, in the side story. And I find that a lot of that is being dealt with right now in a lot of different genres, like Mad Max, Game of Thrones, and, like, yes, it's not, like, something... Like, this does it in the way that Mad Max does it, where they don't show it. It's like we talked about last week with the Pisces. Yeah. Like, there's things that people don't... If you're not educated and you're not aware of it, you're not going to deal with it appropriately or socially adequately. Or, like, if someone came to you and told you that happened to them, you wouldn't know how to deal... Like, a lot of people wouldn't know how to deal with it. Or, like, even... This is a random thing, but, like, when you lose someone in your life, if they passed away, a lot of people don't know how to deal with that situation. So they're just like, they don't act appropriately. All you have to do is be there for the person.
Yeah, I have a very close friend of mine a few years ago. I was not the best of friends during that time. Some of my best friends were not great friends when I lost my dad, so... Yeah, when my friends lost their mom, and I was like, I don't know how to help you there.
Yeah, all you have to do is
be there for people.
I'll be around when you need me.
That's heavy. We're doing heavy stuff, apparently.
We do that a lot now.
We do a lot now. But
I guess we'll always start with me, because I always like to start with the light and fun stuff.
Well, it's not my fault. Vince wrote something pretty heavy in here, okay?
And, it's okay to deal with heavy stuff.
It is okay.
That's why we talk
That's
about
one of the really strengths that the medium has, is that it's able to, comics specifically, are able to deal with a lot of heavy stuff in a way that nobody really pays attention to, and because of the age market that they are typically thought about. Like, you make comics for kids. Yeah. Kids read this stuff and then internalize it and can talk about it and think about it and grow, because kids aren't dumb. They're just don't have the experience yet to put stuff in places, and this helps.
Yeah. Well, and like Vince wrote it in a way that there was never it was never said, but Sia and him both worked on it in a way that, like, obviously she's in bed next to him in this yeah, she does everything, but, like, she's in bed next to him and she's running away. You don't, she's not naked, and you don't see them doing anything, but
it's actually funny because, like, any other comic, she'd be naked.
Yeah. And then he's like, "Oh, you tried to run away, so boys, it's your turn to have fun." Oh. They don't show anything.
That's good.
But, like, it's done in a way they don't have to. Mm-hmm. But, like, honestly, humans. It's just like, if the world ended, we would go back to being kind of like stick and rock kind of people.
I wonder about that, because there's this constant conceit in dystopian, and I mean that's part of the whole dystopian thing, that we would revert to our least attractive qualities as people if society collapsed. But there's nothing to really support that.
Well, and that's the thing, is, like, I always just say it's unfortunate, but, like, bad people win in a lot of situations because they're willing to do bad things. Good people aren't willing to hurt people a lot of the times. She's a good person, and she's done bad things to save good people.
See, there's again, just an interesting thing, because going back to the idea of Mad Max, and I know we're going to do the Fury Road thing eventually.
Yeah.
We watched it.
We saw it, so we can actually do it.
Good. All right.
But one of the things about Mad Max that a lot of people seem to not get is Mad Max is not the hero of his movies.
Not at all.
No.
He doesn't get
Especially the new one.
anything. He consistently ends up worse at the end of every movie than when he began. And he is the
I don't know if he ended up really worse than he was.
Well, he doesn't have a car at the end of this one.
he doesn't have a
True.
car, he doesn't have anything.
I'm pretty sure that you'll give him
He's got a nice haircut.
No, he'll get by. And yeah, really.
No, I don't think they. Oh, yeah,
He'll
they
get
did
by
change that.
because that's who he is. He's a survivor. He's the ultimate ideal of this weird toxic masculinity thing. But there's nothing that he builds. There's nothing that he grows. He loses everything consistently and can't accept being anything other than just this lost, broken man. It's sad.
But I
And-
think that, like, I don't know. It's just in a situation where there's no way to keep law and order. There's just like no way to enforce people's behavior.
I think it comes down to the survival.
Yeah. The survival is like if there's no like telephones, no way for like you become little towns like in all the zombie movies or anything like that. You become like little civilizations clinging together. There's always one person and usually in charge or whatever, and like
There's always a dictatorship.
yeah. Because it's the
Or a
honest
dictatorship.
it's but yeah.
Sorry, I like to keep it light. Interject.
But
the,
yeah,
It's okay.
so
We all think
that's
something.
that's my thing. Vince Cia, you did an awesome job again. This like cover, it's like I don't know. It kind of foreshadows the story. I feel like because the background's just destroyed and she's still in her yellow sundress and it's slowly getting deteriorated and stuff.
But she's still trucking.
She's still walking.
going.
She's still moving.
Yeah, that's the thing. You keep moving.
Yep.
But yeah, so we'll do a Mad Max.
When do you want to do
review.
Mad Max?
I don't know. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it on camera.
And
No.
maybe some individual reviews. And
Yeah, I still gotta read
Yeah.
Convergence.
I talk about
You don't
Superman.
have
I didn't talk about
I
Superman.
don't have.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see you at least next week,
Yeah.
if not sooner.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Remember to like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe,
comment, and
share,
And share.